Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be one that was requested by you guys, and that is cozy mystery series that I recommend that are complete. So these series are no longer having any new releases coming out in them, at least to the very best of my knowledge. If I'm wrong about any of these, let me know. I would love to be wrong because I really enjoy these series and want more. So the first one I want to recommend is the Daphne Jones mystery series by Philippa Nefri Clark. This is a very interesting concept. So there are 3 in the series, and I have read book 1, really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading these books coming very soon. But Daphne Jones is our main character. I want to say she's about in her 50s, and she is an officiant. So she will be the person kind of in charge of running funerals, weddings, and it puts her in a lot of these interesting positions. And what's unique about this cozy, besides the career choice, is that her and her husband travel throughout the country in Bluebell, which is their like little caravan here. And it very much reminds me of like if Daphne and Fred from Scooby-Doo got married and were like in their 50s and were traveling the country together. Like they just, Daphne Jones, I mean come on, Daphne, Fred Jones. I don't know. Her husband's name is not Fred, but he's really cool. He has a very big interest in history, which I like. They kind of work together at times, but she's the primary sleuth, gets involved in a lot of quirky cases. I love the settings. I think it's really fun that they travel around but still have this cozy home to go back to. And it's just a really unique series I don't hear much about that I wanted to give a shout out. A new to me series that I just read book 1 for, and I listened to this on Audible, and this is Wine and Punishment from the Literary Pub Mystery Series by Sarah Fox. So I have read Sarah Fox's True Confections mystery series and I love it. That is an ongoing series of hers. So I wanted to try some of her backlist, and this is a Literary Pub mystery series. There's about, I want to say like 5 or 6 out in the whole series, and this is such a fun concept. So it takes place in Vermont. We have our main character Sadie, who is a book lover, but she takes over this old pub and she was kind of thinking about turning it into a bookshop, but then she saw what like a local hotspot and like kind of meeting place this was for everyone. So she decides to redo the pub and make it literary themed. So it's like an Agatha Christie themed area. They're like, it's really fun. There's lots of bookish references even though it takes place at a pub, and the mystery for this first one was really good. I will say she was a little bit dense at first. She really hooked on to this one person as like the suspect and wouldn't let it go for a while, so she was a little dense at first, but I really warmed up to her by the end, and this was a 4-star read for me. So this is a series I'm looking forward to continuing. A series I actually read in January with my Patreon, we read book 1 for our book club, is A Plus One for Murder, A Friend for Hire mystery by Laura Bradford, and I am so bummed out. This is the large print edition for my library. I'll put the regular kind of cover on screen for you. There's only 2 books out. I'm so bummed because this is such a hit. So many of us, including me, adored it. This is the large print cover here, and our main character is Emma Westlake, and she is a travel agent, but she's really struggling with the kind of onset of all these travel websites making it easy for people to book their own vacations. And one of her friends suggests to her, why don't you become a friend for hire? Which is such an interesting concept. So she basically ends up being like an accountability partner for one person who wants to go to the gym. She ends up being a companion. She ends up being like going to this one show with this person who's going to do stand-up like comedy or like poetry, and this is where, you know, our murder happens, and she's there to just kind of cheer this person on and applaud for them. And I love her. She is so likable. She's very relatable. She's in her early 30s. She has an amazing dog named Scout. If you like dog cozy mysteries, there's so much lovable Scout moments in this. The mystery really threw me for a loop. I so enjoyed this. I can't believe there are only 2 books out. I'm so sad there's only 2 books out. But this was a fantastic read, and I can't wait to read book 2, so I would definitely recommend looking into this. So Tim Myers, I recently read Dead Men Don't Lie, a soap-making mystery last month in January. This has 3 books out in the series, and it is complete. Our main character is Benjamin, and he works at his family's soap shop, kind of soap-making factory. They produce soaps, they sell them, they have classes. You get to read about the classes, which Benjamin hosts often, and I love that. He is such a likable character, and Chris Cavender / Tim Myers, he has a bunch of different pen names. I love it. We actually have another series from Chris Cavender in this pile. That was one of my first cozy series ever. It's what got me into cozies. That's how much I love it. There's only 3 out though. I'm about to read book 2. I'm really sad there's only 3 because I'm so in love with Benjamin and his family. I feel like Chris Cavender / Tim Myers, however you want to call him, does family writing so well. Like, he really brings them to life, and he has a huge family. He's got like, it's either 5 or 6 younger siblings, I think 6. So 7 kids in total. He's the eldest. He's the fixer of the family who kind of protects everyone. I love it. This was such a fun, unique theme. The writing, so engaging. The mystery, excellent. I loved this. So this is a series that is complete. There are 3 books in total. Another one that I have started within the last, like, I think month or so that only has 1 book in it, and I'm just so bummed, is the Chatty Corgi mystery series by Jennifer Hawkins. This is the book right here. To Fetch a Felon is the first in the series. I strongly recommend listening to this on audio because the accents are delightful, and because this is a Chatty Corgi mystery series, the Corgi literally talks to the main character Emma, who is trying to set up this like tea shop in the English countryside. So it's a really charming setting, but the Corgi moments are hilarious. Oliver has such a mind of his own. He's an epitome of a Corgi. This is so well written. If you are a dog lover, you're looking for something very lighthearted and fun and whimsical. Emma is the only one who can talk to him, so it's not really like a magical cozy, I would say. It's just like this one little element that's very whimsical, and I love it, and they solve the crime together, and it's just so incredible. I love Oliver. I would listen to it on audio if you enjoy audiobooks because the audiobook narrator was fantastic. And I love Paige Shelton's writing. Many of her book series are ongoing, but one that is complete with just 3 in the series is A Dangerous Type Mystery. And this one here that I have is called Comic Sans Murder. I have read this entire series, and I am so bummed that it's over. It takes place in Star City, Utah, which is like a ski town, a tourist town. Very small and cozy. Our main character is Claire, and she works with her grandfather, and I believe it's her niece. So there's like 3 generations under this one shop, and it's like a typewriter repair shop. Sometimes they repair old books, so it's kind of bookish themed with the typewriters, the book repairs. Sometimes they do like stationery, and there is a very cute cat, as you can see here. But I love the snowy setting with the ski town. I love this series. I feel like Paige Shelton's writing is talked about quite a bit, but not this series, and I loved it. I really wished it would continue. The love interest had a very interesting occupation that I was really fascinated with. I love Chester, her grandfather. He's very like kind of cranky but lovable, and I love Claire, so I just wish the series was continuing because I've read all of it and I so enjoyed it. A Seaside Café mystery series by Bree Baker. I have almost finished the series. I think I have 2 left, and there's about 7 in the series. This is the perfect summer cozy mystery series. It takes place by the sea, and our main character has an iced tea cafe. I love it. Her name is Everly Swan. She has like 2 aunts that live nearby who are fantastic characters, some great family moments, but she moves back, she opens this iced tea shop. Of course, the first book, you know, a body's found near the shop, like very classic cozy setup, but the writing, it's so rich. If you've enjoyed Jacqueline Frost, who writes the Christmas Tree Farm mystery series, Bree Baker is the same author, and I adore this. It is over from what I can tell. There are 7 books out, but the setting is perfect. It's like one of my favorite summer cozy mysteries. I'm saving the last 2 books to finish this summer, and the mysteries have really surprised me. The secondary supporting characters and cast are incredible, and there's actually a very sweet romance in this one that I actually don't mind, which is kind of rare because I'm not really big on romance, but this one is very cute. And yeah, I couldn't recommend this series more. A Bread Shop mystery series by Winnie Archer. I am so sad this series is over. There's 8 books in total. I have read the entire series. I heard the author might consider maybe releasing a novella, but the series is over from what I can tell, and I am just so bummed because, for starters, these covers are darling. Our main character is Ivy, and she is like a part-time freelance photographer and bread shop assistant, and it's actually like a Mexican bakery bread shop. So there's these sisters that run it that I love. They capture the show. They have such great personalities, and I learned so much about just different kind of bread and culture, like different cultures and how they make bread in this series, which I enjoy. Crust No One's probably my favorite, but A Murder You'll Regret is very close. There is a pug in this named Agatha, which I love, and this takes place in Santa Sofia, California. So a really great one, especially for like spring and summer, I would say. I love the bread shop references. This is what actually got me to pick up some bread and like try to learn it myself. So I now make my own bread. I love this series. It will make you very hungry. The mysteries are great, very impactful. There's some surprisingly dark motives in some of these cozies, Still very much a cozy mystery, but some very good depth to the mysteries, which I really enjoy. The Gladdy Gold Mystery Series by Rita Lacken. I want to say there's about 9 or 10 books in this series. I've read the first 2, and these are amazing. The concept for this is that she's not Miss Marple. This is a senior sleuth mystery series. She lives at this kind of senior assisted living kind of apartment retirement community, and she has this gang of ladies that work with her who are fantastic. They are funny. This is such a hilarious cozy mystery. If you enjoy senior sleuths, if you enjoy Florida, if you enjoy just a really quirky, fun group of sleuthing ladies working together, this is a hysterical cozy mystery, and both times the mysteries have really surprised me. I can't wait to read more from this series. I'm not gonna get over this one being over. As far as I know, to the best of my knowledge, the series by Diane Kelly is over, and that is the Mountain Lodge Mystery Series. There are 3 books in total. I have read all of them. I wish I could read them again for the first time. I love them that much. No Place for Murder, Get Away with Murder, which is the first book, and then A Trip with Trouble. These are phenomenal. This is one of my favorite cozy mystery series I've ever read. Our main character is Misty. She is, I want to say, about 50 years old. She gets a divorce in the first book, but it's very amicable. She has like still friends with her ex-husband. They have 2 adult sons who are off to college together, and she uses her money from the divorce to invest in this mountain lodge and to open like a big bed and breakfast in the mountains. It's beautiful. It takes place in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Gorgeous setting, especially great for fall and winter if you're a seasonal reader like myself. The mysteries have shocked me time and time again. Even if I guess the ending, there's still always something that I didn't put together. Like, she's really good at weaving an intricate mystery. I love the setting. You also get to read snippets from the cat Yeti's perspective, which are hilarious. So if you're a cat lover, this is a series I would definitely look into, but the setting is just unmatched. The mysteries, I love everything about this. I can't believe it's over. I will not stop talking about this series ever because I love it so much. Speaking of that series that got me into cozy mystery reading, that is unfortunately wrapped up. This is by Chris Cavender / Tim Myers. It's the Pizza Lovers Mystery Series. This is book 1 right here, A Slice of Murder. I love this series. It takes place in North Carolina. Our main character is Eleanor Swift. She is a kind of recent widow. Her and her husband Joe had opened this pizza shop, A Slice of Delight, together. And in this one, it kind of goes into some of her grief. She's working through it. She gets involved in mysteries with her sister Maddie, who works as kind of like a hostess or like front end manager at the pizza shop. And she is hilarious. The sister dynamic in this is what makes it for me. They are hilarious because Maddie is super extroverted, very in your face and loud and boisterous, and Eleanor is very subdued, more like inwardly introverted kind of tendencies, very happy to just live like a cozy, quiet life. Maddie's always bringing her out of her shell. They are a hilarious dynamic duo. I really enjoyed the other characters in this book, the employees at the shop. I love these mysteries. I mean, it got me into cozy mystery reading. I don't know what else I could say to praise it. Like, that's a big compliment if it got you into a genre, and I have read all of those, and I've even reread books from this series and enjoyed them, which is so rare for me with mysteries. I strongly recommend the series. A Mail Carrier Mystery Series by Tonya Capez. This one I've been listening to on Audible. I'm about 6 books out of 8 in. I love it. It's a really great, cozy, southern comfort, very charming. Our main character is Bernadette. I think she's in her 50s. She has an adult son in the area. She is a widow, and she's a mail carrier, and she walks on foot throughout this very small town in the south delivering mail, and she gets some really interesting clues because you learn a lot by people through their mail. So cozy. Bernadette is just hilarious. She's relatable. There's one book where she goes to like a yoga studio with her friend, and the commentary about yoga and like the bending of your body and all these weird positions made me crack up while I was cooking listening to it. I love this series. It is very short, very brief books, but super fun, a very charming listen or quick read, and I just absolutely think it has so much heart. A series that I'm so sad is over is the Pen and Ink Mystery Series by Krista Davis. I have read all 4 books in this. This is The Coloring Crook. I mean, just look at this cover. It's a coloring book. And our main character in this is Flory Fox. She works at this bookshop, but they also sell coloring books, and she's a coloring book artist, which I think is such a cool take. And the mysteries are great. Lots of fun dog moments with her pup. I love the setting. I want to say it takes place in Washington. Georgetown, Washington, D.C. And she's the manager of the Color Me Read bookstore. And there's just been so many fun bookish themed mysteries in this, like involving authors or rare like coloring books or just things like that. So if you like bookish mysteries, this is so fun. It's so interesting. She actually sketches the scenes at crimes to help her remember things, which I think is such a cool detail. The Record Shop Mystery Series by Olivia Black. From what I can tell, this book series is complete, even though it is a more recent one. There are 3 books out in total. I have read the first 2 books. I read A Fatal Groove last month, and I have to read A Rhythm and Clue soon to complete the series, which I'm so sad about. It takes place in this really small town in Texas with 3 sisters at the heart of it. Our main character is Junie, or Juniper, but Junie is what she goes by. All of her sisters have floral names, which is kind of fun. But they decide to open this record shop slash coffee shop together, and it's just so heartwarming to see them as they work together to open this business, as they struggle together, as they work to solve some family dramas, and there's just so many interesting parts and components to this. They have a cat who lives at the shop who kind of just appears, of course, very classic cozy. I love the record shop setting. I'm not one for music really. I don't know much about music. I'm not very good with it, so I don't think I get all the references, but there are so many fun music references if you are a music lover that you'd probably appreciate more. And yeah, I read this one. It had a Bluebonnet Festival. This is book 2. I read that last month. Such a fun setting, lots of interesting kind of history in the Texas area. I so enjoyed this, and I just love the sisters and their relationship and how each of them are very different, but they all have this lovely loyalty and love that brings them together and how they work together, and I love it. So that is another one. The Secrets of the Castleton Manor Library series. This one is by multiple authors. The first book is a novel, Murder by Elizabeth Penny. I will warn you, the series can be a little hard to get your hands on, especially if you're looking for physical copies. I'm certainly struggling with that. I'm having to get some of them used online. It's a little bit of a mess sometimes, but I love it enough to still recommend it. Our main character is Faith Newberry, and she works at the Castleton Manor in the library. And it's this beautiful, like, you know, all these first editions, rare books, and each book centers around a bookish event because the Castleton Manor serves as a hotel. So you'll have a group of romance authors or thriller authors, or there was a Charles Dickens like group that came for one of them for the Christmas one. So there are so many incredible bookish themed events. The mysteries are fun, and you also get to read from the cat Watson's perspective, which is really fun. Just a fun little aspect. I think Watson's a hoot. I love Faith. I love the other characters in this, and it's just such a heartwarming, quick, cozy mystery series that I've really been enjoying. Hey guys, I'm back. I took a little break for my voice because it was starting to get a little raspy from my allergies. We're gonna go ahead and continue. Our next pick is a series I feel like so underrated, and that is the Lickety Splits mystery series by Cynthia Baxter. So I think there are 4 or 5 out in this series in total. I have read all but 1, and I love the series. It takes place in a small Hudson Valley town. Our main character, Kate, left like Manhattan in the big city to come back here, and she works with her grandmother she lives with her grandmother who's there, which I love the relationship, and then her niece also works at the shop with her, which I love. And I love the family dynamics. I love the multi-generations of women all together. Her ice cream shop is so fun. The flavors are great. The mysteries for this were surprisingly really like layered. Like one of them I still remember the plot twist for, and I was really surprised. So if you're looking for a really good foodie cozy mystery that is complete, this is one that is wrapped up but really good. I still have one more I need to get my hands on. The next one is the Alaska Diner Mystery Series by Elizabeth Logan. There are 3 books out in total in this series, so it is rather short, but our main character moves from the big city, I believe San Francisco, back home to the small town in Alaska to take over this diner that her parents had been running for years, and it was kind of, I think, struggling, and her parents were maybe looking to retire. She takes it over in a heartbeat. She has a cat named Eggs Benedict. That's all you need to know about the series, but that's really it. But the first one was called Moose and Murder, and I just adored it. The mystery was really good. I liked the characters, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. Another one I really enjoyed is the Annie's Mysteries Unraveled. I want to say there's about 12 in this series, and I have read the first book in it. Really enjoyed it. This one takes place with a mom who's moving to a small town in Texas, and she's like a crochet expert. She's in, I think, her early 40s. She has a daughter who's away at college, and I believe she's divorced. And in this one, she's starting to work as like she's starting to like make her own, I want to call them recipes, but like crochet patterns, and she's going to be taught like working with like a magazine or something to publish them, and something goes awry. And I just thought it was a really good mystery, very quick, very short, very fun though, a nice like crafty option. Speaking of crafty cozies, the Mainely Needlepoint Mystery Series by Leah Waite. So unfortunately all series by this author have concluded because the author is no longer living, so her series is wrapped up unfortunately, and I have now read I think 3 or 4 in this series. I want to say there's like 8, and she also has a few other series that I haven't checked out yet, but if you're looking for any cozy mystery series by this author, she is no longer with us, so her series are concluded. I really recommend the Mainly Needlepoint Mystery Series. It's really well written. Our main character in this is Angie, and she lives or like moves back with like her grandmother in Maine after living in Arizona for a while, and she like worked under a private investigator, so she has kind of an interesting knowledge base where she's still an amateur sleuth but knows maybe a little bit more than the average person. I love the main setting, and she works with the Mainly needlepointers, who are this needlepoint group, and she helps to kind of help run like their business with them, and I just really enjoy that. I think she's a great character. She's very spunky. She's got an interesting backstory that's explored, especially in book 2, I want to say. So I would read these in order, but I really love these, and as you can see there are some cute cats as well. Speaking of cats, A League of Literary Ladies Mystery by Kylie Logan. I think there are 5 out in total in this series. This mystery had me going. This was one of my favorite mysteries from last year. This is the first one in the series. I'm trying to get my hands on the second book because my library just doesn't carry this series. And this one has the most interesting concept. We basically have 3 ladies who are forced together to be in this book club by a local magistrate after he's tired of them bickering so much. So this is like prime comedy, because you have these 3 ladies who are very different, who do not like each other for various reasons. They're forced together to become a book club or to face other consequences. So they do the book club, and they decide to read Murder on the Orient Express, which this is loosely, you know, obviously titled based on, and this one actually kind of follows it. So one of them is a B&B proprietor, an ex-Manhattanite, one is a hippie cat lover, and one is a winery owner. And this takes place on an island on Lake Erie. I loved this. I loved the relationships and dynamics between the ladies. I thought it was hilarious. The mystery, I was really surprised. I did not see a certain element of this coming whatsoever. I loved the setting. I'm really looking forward to continuing my time with these ladies because they were just a hoot, an absolute hoot. A series that I am 2 out of 3 books into by Lucy Lawrence, also known as Jen McKinley, is the Decoupage mystery series. So I have one more book I want to listen to on audio, but I have listened to the first 2 on Audible and really enjoyed these. These are, again, another crafty kind of cozy mystery. Decoupage is like, it's like paper mache-esque. I know I'm probably not explaining that great, but it's like in the realm of like paper mache type crafting. So it's very interesting. So the main character works in and owns this decoupage shop. She does decoupage classes. The second book, the mystery, it involved like a bridal party. The mystery was outstanding. I had like jaw on the floor, barely pieced it together, but I was so surprised the author went there. I loved it. So I'm very much looking forward to book 3, and I'm very bummed that there's only 3 in total. Another one that I just can't find anything about, more books coming out in the series, so I believe it is over. It's by Abby Collette, and this is the Biscuits, Books and Biscuits mystery series. There are only 2 out in the series, which is such... it's such a shame because I love it. And we actually have 2 fraternal twins, Kobe and Keaton, as you can see here on the cover. And what's interesting about these 2, because I do love a cozy mystery that centers around like sisters or best friends or family, something like that, as you can probably tell from my recommendations. But what's interesting about these 2 is that they actually meet as adults, because they grew up in different homes. One grew up in foster care while the other one was adopted out. So they meet as adults and reconnect and decide to open a Books and Biscuits cafe. So one half of the shop is run by the female twin, who is a ex-librarian, and so she runs the bookshop portion, and then the male twin ends up doing like the southern food references. Oh my goodness. There is this lady named Mama Zola in here who is amazing, and I want to like adopt her or have her adopt me because she is so cool. Such a fun character. I still remember the clues that led to the final conclusions in these mysteries because they were so distinct and really interesting, and I love the twin connection. There's also a cat and a dog in the series, so it's a very animal, kind of heavy, cozy, bookish, and food. So it's pretty much got every amazing cozy theme in one. I don't know why there's only two, but that's as far as I can tell. There's only two out, and that's all that's coming out. I can't find anything else about more releases. The Resale Boutique Mystery Series by Deborah Senfilder. Same with this one. I do believe it is a complete series as far as I can tell. I think there's about 6 out. I only have one book left in the series that I need to get my hands on and then read. And I'm so bummed about that because it's just such a great mystery. So we have it really starts as more of like a thrift clothes, like secondhand boutique, and the main character comes in with her fashion merchandising knowledge, takes it over from a family member, and then revitalizes it into this very much like, you know, like a resale boutique. She really rebrands it into this more exclusive, like high-end, like nicer quality selective merchandise that she offers. She really applies her merchandising skills, which I find so interesting. There are some fascinating family subplots in this, so I would definitely read it in order. There is a very funny, lazy cat named Howard, who I adore. The first book actually takes place during Halloween, and the second one takes place during Christmas leading up to New Year's, so there's some fun seasonal ones, but I just so enjoy the characters in this. I enjoy the subplots. I enjoy how real and relatable the main character is, and that she's quite flawed, but just a really enjoyable person to root for all the same, and I would just really recommend this series. Another series that I've recently started and learned that there's only 3 out and it looks like it's discontinued is a book club mystery series by Laura De Silveiro, and I read The Readaholics and the Falcon Fiasco. This is book 1 here. And this takes place in Heaven, Colorado, which is an idyllic Rocky Mountain little town. Our main character is Amy Faye, and she's an event planner and also a book club member. So it's both kind of like an event planning and bookish cozy. And in this one of the Readaholics, which is the book club members, dies under mysterious circumstances, and she also makes the mistake, Amy does, the main character, of agreeing to plan a wedding for her ex without realizing it. So that's kind of it's pretty hilarious, but the ending for this was really high stakes, really solid. It was a little slower to start, but overall a really solid read, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading more in this series. An Emily Cherry mystery series by Donna Doyle. So this is a cozy mystery novella series. Each book is pretty short. It's like in the 100-page range. I've been listening to these on Audible, and I've listened to the first 4 already. They're about 2.5 hours each, so they're very short, fun listens. And Emily Cherry is a senior sleuth, and she wants to become a blogger. So in the first book, she launches her blog, and what I love about this series is the character. It's really, the mysteries are a little more on the simple side. It's very much like a cozy, charming, more character-centric read. I love Emily. She is a retiree and a widow. She has grandchildren who are really adorable. She's got 3, I think, adult children. And what I love about her is that she, and this is like a theme throughout the whole book, is that she doesn't let other people judge her for her age and what she should or shouldn't do based on that. Because like even some of her kids are like, can you make a blog? Like, are you going to be able to like do the tech stuff for that? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to figure it out. And she does. And I love her for that. And I also love how she, other times she'll see people, maybe a young person who's like really tattooed with a lot of piercings, and she'll catch herself making like an assumption about them based on their appearance, and then she'll take a moment, take a step back and be like, nope, you know what, I'm not going to judge them by how they look. I don't want to be judged by how I look, you know, or my age or like certain things. And I just love that message. And each book centers around a different theme. Now the blogging and senior sleuth is kind of the main theme for the series, but each one kind of centers around a different theme because she kind of changes the direction of her blog in each one. So the first book is like a food review blog, then she switches to like a craft fair, and then there's like an animal rescue, etc. So it's a really fun, whimsical, like lighthearted, great read if you're, you know, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you just want something kind of cozy and fun to listen to. I would really recommend this series. Another one that I found really fun was a stationery shop mystery by Vivian Conroy. This is called Last Pen Standing. This is the first book in the series. And it takes place in Tundish, Montana. It feels like a very kind of southwestern cozy to me, even though it's in Montana. But our main character is Delta, and she runs a stationery shop with her best friend. And there is a very cute, as you can see, German Shepherd named Spud, which is adorable. And Delta works with the paper posse in this one to solve mysteries. There are 3 books in this series in total. I wasn't the biggest fan of book 3, but I did love the first 2 books especially, and I still enjoyed listening to book 3, so I would still recommend the whole series. I personally love stationery, So this is a theme that was right up my alley. If you have other recommendations for like stationery themed kind of cozies, I would love that, so please let me know. But this is just such a fun cozy. I love a lot of the kind of mining references and like kind of ghost town. It feels very like Western to me. Just like the way some of the mysteries are centered around certain things like mining, I really enjoy that. And I just would really recommend, I mean, even on the cover we have tumbleweeds coming by, you know? So it's a really fun series, some great like family drama for like families that have been in the area a long time who don't like other families because they're, you know, better than them, like that kind of drama. So I really enjoy that. And then this is another cozy mystery series that is unfortunately complete because the author has passed away to my knowledge, and that is Monica Ferris, and this is the Needlecraft mystery series. So I have read a couple books from this series, notably Cruel World, Tie-Dye, which is much farther in the series. This is a collection, and then Framed in Lace. I didn't love book 2. I actually ended up DNFing it. I just couldn't get into it, but the other 2 in the series were really solid 4 or 5-star reads for me. So I still wanted to throw it in there for you because maybe that was just like an odd one for me. I don't know. In our first book, Betsy arrives in the small town in Minnesota to help her sister when she discovers her sister has been murdered, and her sister was actually the one who was running the Needlecraft shop, and Betsy ends up taking it over. So that's kind of the general premise for this, but very fun. You really do learn a lot about Needlecraft in this, so I would say it's probably better if you're someone who has more of an interest in Needlecraft because it is rather detailed. And that is everything from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below, what are your favorite cozy mystery series that are complete? I'm sure I've missed so many that I love, but I had to, for the sake of time, constrain this list somewhat. But I hope this was helpful for you. Please let me know. Stack of books just fell over. Please let me know down below, what are your favorite cozy mystery series that are complete, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I do post new book content every week on my channel, anything in the cozy and mystery genres, so whether that's cozy mysteries, thrillers, murder mysteries, anything like that. And thank you again for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye!